This presentation is on Yoko Ono's book Grapefruit and is done by Hannah Boardman. In this book, there were many pieces that stood out to me. However, I really like this section on paintings. In this section, Yoko Ono gives the audience different directions on making a piece of art. I found that this chapter was the most interesting because it changed the way that I look at painting as art. Rather than thinking that the finished product was the art, I now feel that the process it took to make that final product is the art. The first piece in this section that I found interesting was water drop painting. In this piece, Ono is telling the audience to place an object under dropping water until a hole is drilled in the object from the drops. I found this piece interesting because it talks about something that does not seem possible. How could water drops drill a hole in a stone? I found this piece challenging because it makes you think about what is actually trying to be said rather than just taking it literally. In addition to this, water drop painting shows the importance of art and finding art in everything around you. Some implications that can be made from water drop painting are that art is timeless. I think that this is a theme that can be shown because Ono is describing something that never actually happens and saying that when this happens, the painting will end. This means that the painting will never end. In relation to this, I think that we can see that the beauty in art that is around us will never end and that it is everywhere. Another piece in this section that stood out to me was painting to be stepped on. I found this piece interesting because Ono is describing people walking as art. This is something so common that happens every day in every city, and she is making the audience think about it in a new, more beautiful way. I think this piece is extremely important because it challenges what our thoughts are on art and really makes us see everything around us in a different way. Some implications that Ono portrayed through this piece of art is that beauty is in society. Normally, when walking in an area crowded with people, we just become frustrated and hate it. But with this piece, Ono is telling us to appreciate what is happening around us because everything that is happening is art and is beautiful. Next, kitchen piece is another piece that stood out to me. I think it stood out to me because Ono is telling us to literally throw food at a wall in order to make a painting. I think that this piece is important because it shows the versatility in paintings and that anyone can make art. In addition to this, I think that this piece is important because Ono is telling us to make art out of our leftovers, which would normally just get thrown away. I think this really shows that there is beauty in everything. One major theme that I think Ono was trying to get across was that there is always art being produced just through us living. I think that this is important because many people often find that they are unproductive in the day and then feel bad about this later. If you look at your life in the way that Yoko Ono is trying to get across, even the smallest actions that you do are considered art and thus are considered beautiful. These three pieces that I picked out in the painting chapter have some common themes. For example, because these pieces were written as instructions for the audience to make their own paintings, I think that Ono was telling the audience that the finished product is not the art, it is the process that it takes to make that product. I think that this can be related to life in many ways. On our journey in life, we face many obstacles before we get to our goal. I think that through this theme, Ono is saying that these obstacles in life are beautiful and just as important as the final goal. Another theme that is common to these pieces is that Ono wants society to engage in art or realize that every day they are engaging in art. Finally, the last common theme is that art is constantly occurring around us, and it is important that we realize this so that we can see the beauty. I think that Yoko Ono is in the song Hot Topic for many reasons. Yoko Ono wrote this book in the 1960s when women were facing issues with wages and other inequalities. Yoko Ono is also Japanese, which is a group that was often not treated fairly compared to those that were considered white. I think that with these barriers that Ono faced, she still became very successful, and this success gave society hope that they could also become successful no matter what troubles that they faced with society. In addition to this, she changed the way that people look at art and think of art. Through doing this, she left a big impact on society that is still present today. I think that Grapefruit can relate to other works that we have studied in this class for many reasons. Some of these works include Trash by Dorothy Allison and Sorry Tree by Eileen Miles. I think that one way that Grapefruit can relate to both of these is through the way that they all took very private parts of their lives and private thoughts that they had and shared them with the public. From doing this, they were becoming vulnerable to society and the judgments that society was going to have. In addition to this, I think that they all relate because they make you appreciate the events that have played out in your life. I think that in Trash, Allison shows us the worst parts of her life but does not let them define her and is thankful for them. Like Likewise, in Grapefruit, Ono is finding beauty in everything around her. Finally, I think that a major theme in all of these works is that the downfalls in life are also beautiful because they make us who we are. I think that this can be shown in all three works because in each book the author acknowledges the bad but combats it with the good that came out of it.